responsibility of the airline is to be pinpointed, the DGCA has now withdrawn the rule that barred airlines from substituting weekly rest with leave. The move comes amidst this major operational disruption and airline requests for flexibility. Airlines can now use leave in place of weekly rest to stabilize crew rosters. The DGCA says withdrawal is effective immediately. So, of course, there is a firefighting operation going on. Devesh is the aviation expert here. Devesh, how do you read this? This is a massive rollback of sorts by the government?
Hi, Shivani. Thanks for having me. Basically, the airlines didn't want FDTL. This is a great way to get it withdrawn. Okay, Anand and Suhail, they said it very correctly. Sorry, am I visible? I don't know if I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So, basically, the airlines didn't want it. IndiGo has just been the tip of the spear. All the airlines did not want it. The other airlines were prepared. IndiGo has used its market muscle, so to speak, and put it. Every season, if you are aware, we have this concept of a winter schedule and a summer schedule. These schedules are supposed to be shared with the ministry and approval is taken. This is done by the DGCA. For the last 5 years, there's another airline I will not name whose schedule was approved based on them having X number of aircraft when everybody in the industry knew that they had only half the fleet. Yet their schedule was approved. So constantly you would see that airlines flights being cancelled. In fact, they even took out a comedian, took out an ad.
But no, Devesh, I'm going to come back to you. Just hold on your thought. I just want to go across to my colleague Payal Mehta, who's joining us on this massive rollback of sorts that has been taken by the aviation watchdog. Payal, tell us more.
And what we are given to understand that the DGCA has currently put that order into abeyance. It's not been withdrawn, it's not been cancelled, it's been put into abeyance to give IndiGo some time because, IndiGo has been the culprit at this end, not having done the recruitment drive that they should have done over the last few months. In contrast to which, Air India had already run their recruitment drives and Air India had surplus pilots already available. Anyways, to mitigate the situation, this release is going to be of great importance as far as the passenger relief is really concerned, and that is something which is being done. And we are also given to understand the Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Ram Mohan Naidu, has already briefed the Union Home Minister about the developments as well. After which the DGCA has announced that this has to be done with immediate effect. Because lakhs and lakhs of passengers, Shivani, were impacted over the last few days, and many flights to cancel. In fact, IndiGo has not even informed people whether the flights were being cancelled or not. There was no
absolutely. Payal, stay with me. We have the copy of this order that has now been issued. This is order issued on 4th. But let me just go across to the title. The subject says withdrawal of instructions regarding published weekly rest. So the letter at least certainly seems to suggest that this is a withdrawal of what has been issued in the past, whereas reference is invited to the above mentioned letter. No leave shall be substituted for weekly rest. In view of the ongoing operational disruptions and representations received from various airlines regarding the need to ensure continuity and stability of operation, it has been considered necessary to review the said provision. Now, therefore, the instruction contained in the reference paragraph that no leave shall be substituted for weekly rest is hereby withdrawn with immediate effect. This issues with the approval of the competent authority. So, the letter certainly suggesting that this rule has been withdrawn. This is coming under severe pressure, but this is also retrospective. This should have been thought about or discussed earlier. If this was going to be such a massive issue, it should not be taking place like this. Yes, there can be a review, but it should be happening in a better way, not 3 days after this chaos has ensued. My colleague Anvit is joining us. So Anvit, just explain why this was necessary now, and also what is this particular issue of no leave shall be substituted for weekly off. Why has this created such chaos?
See, Shivani, when FDTL came in, DGCA had relaxed rest period for the pilots, and they had said they increased it from 36 hours to 48 hours. Now, in this period, the weekly offs were not to be counted, and in fact, previously DGCA had given this instruction that weekly offs must not be counted as the rest that is given, so that the leaves that the pilots take shall not be counted as weekly offs. But now, owing to the shortage of the crew and owing to the chaos that has been there for the last 3 days, DGCA has withdrawn this. The ministry has withdrawn this instruction of theirs, and they have said that now, for now, the exemption has been given, but it has been withdrawn. So also later on, when they want to implement it, there will have to be another order that will clearly chart out whether weekly offs can be mixed with leaves. If the leaves are taken, can that be counted as weekly offs or not? Because the resting period was increased drastically from 36 hours a week to 48 hours. Also, we are learning that the night landings that had been restricted from 6 to 8, we are learning that probably there will also be shortly an exemption in that also. The airline, the IndiGo for now will be given an exemption. We are learning, however, the order is still awaited, but we are learning that an exemption on the night landing also. Previously it was 6. IndiGo had been asking to keep it 6, but the DGCA's new norms had said only 2 night landings can be allowed. We are learning that a development can also happen on that phase, and that also exemption may be given to back to the 6 landings. So these changes are being made, but see, if we look at the picture entirely, too late to take these decisions. When the order came, there was ample time. These orders had initially come on January 2024. The FDTL had come in, and since then the airlines had 2 years of time. Eventually, the pilots body also went to the court, against DGCA, saying that why were airlines being given more time, but then DGCA came on board and said that no, we are implementing in just 2 months, and July 1 starting, and then from November 1 in phases this will be implemented. So then the order was stayed, but see, the chaos that it has caused and the re-rostering scheduling problems that IndiGo has gone through, it has left passengers in utter chaos across airports, and thousands of passengers in the last 3 days have been stranded. Many of them could not make it to very important meetings and very important gatherings as well.
To be honest, yes, some are life and death situations, but everybody's particular situation is going to be important to them. And many lakhs of passengers have suffered. Before I bring in Divesh, yes, Anand, you've been wanting to come in.
No, I mean, this is just unbelievable. What more proof, Shivani, do you need that we are a banana republic? Just 5 minutes ago, I demanded the resignation of the CEO of IndiGo for dereliction of duty. Now, may I please demand the resignation of the civil aviation's minister? Is this a joke out here? This is a high court order. The pilot unions went to the high court demanding the weekly leave. The high court granted it. It was an order that was... On what basis has the DGCA gone and said that this is in abeyance right now? It is, in fact, you know why I'm asking for the resignation? Because right now they are playing with the safety of passengers. If you do not give the pilots adequate rest, which is what the High Court wanted, aren't you playing with the safety of the passengers?
But the airlines weren't able to execute it.
Well, then they have to pay 2 or 3 times the compensation. How were they not? Is this the problem only with IndiGo? I gave you the data.
Could there have been a longer period during which this order could have been executed, a longer phase?
It was already decided by the High Court. The instructions were given. July was the first phase. Second phase kicked in on 1st November. Now for 30 days, there was no issue at all. It's a question of 65 extra pilots that IndiGo, with a profit of 8,000 crore, revenue of 80,000 crore, can't manage.
No, I'm not justifying the IndiGo situation, but I'm also trying to understand, if airlines in India were prepared for something like this, or should we do it in a way that they are more prepared, and we can ensure that they are prepared for it before it is executed. So Divesh, I want to understand from you, first of all, the parallel to something like this, these rules that the DGCA on the back of a court order tried to implement, and why was this not possible for IndiGo? What is the problem here?
It's very simple. Senior management. If you look at the photograph released by the ministry yesterday, none of the C-suite has attended the meeting. I agree with Anand. Where is the CEO sitting? Where is Mr. Elbers? Where is Mr. Rahul Bhatia? This is a crisis of unimaginable proportions, and the topmost management of the airline is missing.
No, explain this rule to me. Explain this rule for the benefit of our viewers. What is this rule exactly? Why did it come into being? What are global parallels to a rule like this?
Ma'am, there are there is a prescribed fatigue management system which is practiced in most of the West, Europe, etc. India for many years used to, how do I use the word, literally treat pilots as slave labor. Even today, pilots are required to give a 6-month notice period before leaving an airline. Okay, so the airlines have been, the only word I can use is colluding. I agree with Anand. Our DGCA is an ineffective body. Our current Director General was the former Coal Secretary. Come on, there's no technical people there. They
Let's
need
not
to have.
pussyfoot. Sack
Yeah.
the goddamn DGCA head.
Yeah, but
Take
Suhail,
his
just to
bloody
let you
head
know,
and
no,
put it on a
listen,
scalpel.
Suhail, you had said something about British Airways. In 2021, British Airways left me stranded at the airport. I was a business class Emerald Elite passenger and they just told me buzz off. No compensation, no nothing. I was stranded in Chicago.
Well, I wish I could apologize for them, but I'm not going to because
No,
I don't know
as I
about your
said, I
personal
exercised.
incident, but let me tell you
I
one thing.
exercised.
No, 1 minute. We are
No, please,
discussing
Suhail,
something
Suhail,
of
no,
gravitas
listen.
here. 1 minute.
Please let me
The problem
complete my
is
point.
the
No, because
DGCA is
One by. Sohail, I'm coming to you next. Let him finish his point. Yes, Devesh.
So my point is that there is a prescribed
respond to
flight
that.
duty
We are
time limit
discussing a
because
serious
pilots
national
require to
matter.
have, a lot of situational awareness to fly the aircraft
Okay,
safely.
okay, fair
It
enough.
is the choice of IndiGo senior management not to hire because other airlines have prepared for it, and today they
Exactly.
are
So
not
that's
facing a problem.
really the bottom line
That
here,
is the
that
issue
the
here.
airline
Yes, ma'am.
completely. Yes, Sohail.
Into the
Yes.
Mahabharat. 1 minute. Let's not be like Bernard Shaw where the preface is longer than the play. There are only 4 issues here. Number 1, who is going to be held responsible for this mess? And if that person is identified, which is very clear, that person should be sacked, removed, and put to trial. Number 2, there must be a fiscal penalty. Look, all these jokers only understand money. When you pinch their wallets, they understand the seriousness. Number 3, every passenger must be compensated immediately because the compensation cannot be only linked to Meenakshi's one-way travel. Suppose she's traveling on another carrier. That carrier won't care whether IndiGo cancels
Exactly.
the flight or not. What are you going to do about it?
Yes.
Number 4, the Peter Ibers and all these jokers must be held to account, including Rahul Bhatia. You want to make shitloads of money. You want homes everywhere in the world. And you run your airline into the ground even after intimation from the High Court. What kind of a joke is this?